Okay guys, here at the Victoria Park location, just gonna do a quick video of one of the G-test routes that they have here. I'm not at the starting position that you would be at because I don't like doing videos while they're doing tests and where they're practicing and stuff. So I'm off to the side, but this route would be, like, the start would be the same direction that you would go if you were starting the test. So let's act like we're starting the test from this position here. So I'm in the park position. They tell me, okay, when it's safe, go ahead, turn to the left. They're always going to tell you when it's safe for everything, guys. So they're not telling you, it's like a liability thing a little bit, because they're not telling you turn left, because if they say turn left and you do it right away, they're going to say, but you told me to turn left. But they're going to say, when it's safe, do this. So that means you still have to check to see when it's safe. So when it's safe, we'll turn out to the left. 1 second. So signals on, put my car in drive. I come out a little bit. Once my car is halfway out of the spot, now I can turn my wheel, so I'm clearing out before I even get the chance to. This is the direction that you would go down towards. Cars that are coming down this way, they're probably doing their G2 test. But most cars that are doing the G test, they're going out to the left side. So 1 second. So yeah, you would be coming down this way. So let's drive like we just came out one of these parking spots, and we're gonna drive down the aisle here. Speed limit that you kind of want to be at in these areas, guys, 20 kilometers per hour. You don't want to go anything faster than that. It kind of gives you the time and the speed to kind of like be able to watch everything as you're driving down. If you're going too fast and somebody's coming out to do their test, they're coming out of a park position, you might not have enough time to react. So make sure you're going around like maximum 20 kilometers per hour so that you know. 1 second. Okay, they were doing a parking maneuver, so I'll just go through. So you're gonna come around this little bend here. Make sure you're slowing down a little bit to see, because cars do come around this corner. Once you see it's clear, you can continue on. Same thing here. You're coming around a bend. You don't know what's going on the other side, so slow down a little bit to see. Okay, I see it's clear. I'm gonna keep driving through. Do not drive through these parking spaces, guys. There's still a road here, even though it's a little bit tight at this section. You still want to go through the road, so don't drive through the parking spaces. Same thing, another kind of like hidden area. Just slow down a little bit. I'm going around 20 right now, just to make sure you're seeing. Here, guys, very important, do not just go through. There are cars coming through this side, so you want to kind of slow down almost to a stop, kind of to see what's going on, and then you can continue on. Cars go through here all the time, and students just keep driving, and they don't even check. You come to the first spot here, left signal, they're going to tell you to turn left. Treat this as a stop sign, guys, because there are cars that are going straight, so make sure you're stopping before you continue. Okay, I see it's clear, so I make my turn. And then they're gonna tell you turn right. So I'm approaching the street, signal is going on at this point. I do my mirror check. I can do my blind spot check at this point. Now I'm approaching the street, seeing what's going on before I get to it. Stop sign is right there. I stop before the line, do my first stop, see where I'm going. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm approaching on my second stop to see when it's safe for me to go. Okay, those cars are in the left lane, so I know I can go ahead. And then they're gonna tell you turn right, first street. So mirror blind spot, and then you turn right away. So get yourself in position. And now your signal's on and you're turning right. I'm stopping at the light. These cars were turning, but I won't have enough time to go, but I'm still gonna do my advance so I can see a little bit more of the traffic. While you're here, guys, make sure you're looking at both sides. Someone might come from across the front of the car here, so make sure you're checking back to the right side every few seconds so that you're sure that it's clear for you to go. I'm gonna move up a tiny bit because there's a pedestrian with a stroller, just so that they have enough clearance room. What I tell students to, guys, use the edge of the intersection as your last stopping point. You don't want to go further than that. Okay, the light is red, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue. All right, I've done my right turn. So now they're probably gonna tell you when safe, 1 lane change left, 1 lane change right. As soon as you see the opportunity, because you know you just made the turn and it's clear, I'm gonna do my lane change to the left. I don't want to take too much time to do it because now I'm getting closer to the light and I might not have the chance to do it again. So I'm gonna knock my first lane change out of the way so that, you know, as soon as I get the chance to do my other lane change, I can go ahead and do it. Always stop so that you can see the back tires of the car in front of you. When you're stopped, you're always looking around as well. You're not just sitting there idly by, just, you know, looking straight ahead. Make sure you're looking around, try to prepare yourself to see what's gonna happen or see what's going on. Lights turned green, so I know I'm gonna start to go or proceed. So I go into the intersection. I'm looking at what's going on. I'm doing a quick left-right check before I enter the intersection, make sure it's clear for me to go. At the beginning of that last turn, they told me I gotta turn back right. So I know at some point I'm gonna have to get into that right lane. So I'm kind of watching to see when I'll get that opportunity. Okay, so I see that white car in front of me is clearing me. But I don't want to turn yet because there's going to be an intersection coming up soon, so you don't want to turn right close to the intersection because these cars, like it is here, that car is going to be turning. So I'm getting to this intersection, do a quick left-right check. As I clear, I know I'm going to have the opportunity to do a right lane change because that car was turning. So I go ahead and do my lane change. And that's the 2 lane changes going this way have been knocked out. So you have enough time to kind of do the lane changes. So as soon as you see you get the opportunity to do it, make sure you're taking a chance to do it. Don't take too long to do it. Even though you do have a good distance and you do have a good amount of time, don't take forever to do the lane change. So I'm getting to this intersection here. So once you clear this intersection, once you start to go, they're basically going to tell you, okay, enter the highway, which is right there. So you got to move over to the right lane. I don't know if you guys can see it from here, but you would move over where that car is up there. He's coming out of that right lane. So you would move into that right lane. Move over safely because cars are coming from that right direction. So make sure that you're watching, you're checking your mirror and blind spot because it's a regular lane change as you're going over because cars are trying to go left and you're trying to go right. Okay, lights going from yellow to red. So these cars are going to start going now. And I'm still looking around, checking what's going on. So I know once these cars stop going through, then my light's going to be green and I'll be able to go. So that last car going through, so I'm preparing myself to continue straight. Okay, do a left-right check, then I go ahead. So you see that car coming out, you know you got to do the right lane change. So my signal's already going on. I'm not going full 60 because I know that car came out fast. So I let him get ahead of me and then I do my lane change. If you came out full 60 and you're trying to go, you know, side by side by that car, you're probably not going to get onto the highway. So kind of gauge the speed of the traffic of the lane that you're changing into so that you can see whether you can speed up or you can just take your foot off the gas a little bit so that you can get in behind them. So we're going to enter the highway here. This is the curve before the highway. Make sure you're staying inside the curve and not going outside it. Make sure you're not swaying back and forth, not doing anything like this. Make sure you're just staying in one center position the whole time. And as soon as you do this second curve here, you're going to start seeing the highway a little bit. DVP is usually packed. Sometimes like there's a little bit of, you know, breathing room in terms of like the traffic, but usually it's going to be pretty packed. Right now it looks decent. So I'm putting my signal on. I'm kind of checking to see what's going on. Okay, my signal's on before the dotted lines. There's a car coming up in my blind spot. So I'm going to let him clear and then I'm going to go in afterwards. So you just gotta, a lot of times with the DVP, you just gotta find yourself a spot to get in. Take the opportunity as soon as you see it, guys. That car that came up behind me, even though he's seen that there was traffic, he's coming up super fast. So as soon as that car cleared, I took the opportunity to go ahead. And I still had enough space so that they wouldn't count that as like a right-of-way error. So as soon as I made my entrance, they would have told you to do lane changes. So I'm checking now to see when I can do a lane change. So that car is gonna pass me. I see a gap in between that car and the other car behind. So I'm gonna enter right after this car here. And and that car could continue at the same speed. I'm not cutting anyone off or anything. As soon as I do my left lane change, I'm looking to go back to the right now because the exit is going to come up soon. So I let that car pass me. I'm looking in my mirror. My signal's going on to indicate to traffic that I'm trying to turn left or turn to the right lane. I'm still looking at the car in front of me, obviously. He's giving me some room. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and enter. And they're going to tell you get off at the first exit, so which is York Mills Road. So my signal can go on here to let people know that I'm getting off the highway. I'm doing a left-right check before I exit, a mirror check, a blind spot check, and then I go ahead and exit. So if the highway was going fast, you want to maintain the same speed, traffic speed, speed limit as you're on the highway. Only time you slow down is once you actually get off the highway. So as soon as I cross those little dotted lines that you guys saw, that's when I start to slow down. So here we're coming down to the ramp, and I'm going to be turning left at the light. So you'll see how it separates right here. We're going to go left here. Something about this light here, guys. So you do have to move over to the right when it's safe, but you're gonna turn left at the very next light. So a lot of times sometimes they'll just tell you as soon as you make the turn, move over to the left. If there's no traffic or anything around, they might just tell you, all right, they might not say anything at all and let you move over to the right lane. So still kind of like try to show them that you have an intention of moving over to the right lane. If they say, you know what, just stay in this lane and go left, then obviously you would just stay in this lane, stay in that lane and go left, and they wouldn't give you the error. But you always want to show like the intent that, okay, I know that I moved left, I want to move over to the right now. Right now we're just going to stay in this lane. Follow the curve of that line. So like here, I would move over right, and then what you would have to do is move back over left and then get into this left lane. So sometimes it's a hassle for you to do all of that. So they just tell you stay in this lane and turn left. So we're pretty much going right back on the highway. I see an advanced signal, but I might not make it. I'm just approaching at like a regular speed. It's turning yellow, so I know I'm not gonna make it. So I just approach the intersection and put myself in position to make my turn. So I see these cars, I'm checking, no pedestrians are coming. Cars in that right lane, they might be going onto the highway as well. So I'm seeing that those last two cars are turning. After that last car, I should have an opportunity. I do my last check and I go ahead. So same thing as before, you're going around a curve, make sure you're staying inside the lanes and not, swaying too much. Or in this situation here, if you go outside the lane, you're literally just gonna go on the sidewalk or the curb. So make sure you're doing your best to stay inside the lanes at this point. Again, I'm watching now. Okay, I see traffic is not really moving that well, but I know if I speed up, there's space between this truck and that truck in front of me. So I'm gonna try and get in here. So that's how you have to think of it, guys, especially on the DVP. Just get in where you fit in. Like, I know that the speed limit on the highway is 90. I'm not gonna be able to get on at 90. So as the first opportunity I see for me to enter the highway and get myself in position and enter the lane, I'm gonna do that. So I saw that opportunity between those two trucks, sped up a little bit, and then got into the lane. And now I'm on the highway without any hassle. So here as well, they would have told you to do your lane changes before you got on the highway, obviously. There's times where, if it's bumper to bumper like this, they kind of just tell you just stay in this lane, and then they'll get you to do the lane changes maybe when you get back onto the main road if there's an opportunity there. But still, like I said, guys, with the earlier thing about moving right, you still want to show that you have the intention of moving, and if you see that opportunity to take it, then go ahead and take it. So I know I'm driving bumper to bumper traffic. I know most of the time some of these cars will let me in because we're all going at the same speed. We're not going anywhere. We're not going any faster or anything. So a lot of times people will kind of let you in more bumper to bumper traffic rather than regular highway driving. So I'm just gonna put on my signal. I see that car in my blind spot. There's a car in front of me. I'm gonna see what that car is doing. I'm still looking straight ahead. So that car is kind of staying in my blind spot, which you shouldn't be doing, but I just take my foot off the gas and let that car pass me, and I should be able to enter right after. So I'm still checking everything. Okay, he's cleared now, so I can go ahead and enter. And I see that that truck is very far from me in the back, So you know what? I'm gonna take the chance and I'm gonna do my right lane change and go right back to the right lane. A lot of times, once you do a left lane change, if that car that's behind you has some distance, you want to try to do it as quick as possible, because the quicker you knock out those lane changes, the less stress that it's going to be on you guys in terms of like figuring out when to do it, or how to do it pretty much. So I knew that truck had some distance from me. As soon as that car cleared, I got in the left lane, positioned myself. Okay, I see it's clear. I'm going to go back to the right lane right away. Don't ever take too long if you see the opportunity is open for you to actually do the lane change. And we're just driving along here, so every few seconds or so, I'm looking around to make sure, you know, highway is clear and everything is good. And kind of keeping my distance in terms of like the car in front of me. Car and a half, maybe 2 cars in length is good while I'm driving along. If I'm in a stop position, seeing the back tires is good enough. You never want to be tailgating cars, guys. There's literally no reason for you to do that, because where are you really gonna go? Like, I see people do it all the time when they're driving. They're just tailing a car if they're in that fast lane or whatever lane, and they're just trying to, like, you know, I don't know if they think that will force the person to go faster, but it's super unsafe to do that. Just keep your distance. It's bumper to bumper traffic. You're not gonna go anywhere. So just continue at this pace that you're going, and once traffic clears up, then you can speed up a little bit. So they would tell you at some point here, we're getting off at the next exit, Lawrence Avenue, heading east. So this is westbound. The second one is the one that's heading east. So don't think that they're telling you to get off right here. It's gonna be at the next exit that comes up. So now I'm looking, because that little curve there, our car is coming onto the highway. You kind of want to figure out your speed. If you're going like at a regular speed, obviously you want to maintain that speed, but I'm going at a slower speed. So I kind of want to figure out what's going on before I get into the lane. And I'm watching, I'm seeing what's going on. My signal goes on before the dotted lines. I only put it late there because there are these construction signs, so I just want to make sure this road is still open. It is. All right, good. I'm in the lane. So now if you were going 90 on the highway, once you cross over again, that's where you want to start to slow down. You don't want to slow down on the highway and then move over. Slow down once you get into the acceleration slash, for you it would be the deceleration lane. 30 sign over there is a recommendation. If it's clear, you can probably go around 40. Obviously, if there's snow and stuff, then you want to go closer to 30. And now I'm heading straight. So this is a very confusing exit, guys. Once you cross that line, you're off the highway. So now I'm getting onto the main road. Do not think that this is the highway coming up. This is a merging road, or the Lawrence here. So you want to merge here. You see those yield signs? So as I'm pulling up, my signal's already going on, and I'm looking to see what's going on, because you have a very short distance before you have to enter. So I'm looking. As you cross that line down there, you can't go any further. So, okay, I see the opportunity. I'm gonna get on, and the speed limit is 60 here. Cars speed down here. I don't know if you guys noticed, this car that just passed me here, he's probably going like, I want to say 75. Make sure you, at first chance you get onto the highway, you take that opportunity, because the longer you wait, if that car closes that gap and now you decide to change lanes and they gotta abruptly move over, then that's gonna be a fail. I got on quick enough so that car had enough distance and time to decide whether they were gonna slow down or whether they just wanted to move over to the other lane. And they moved over to the other lane. And this is why I say, like, speeding is pointless, guys, because if you see that car right there, he was coming down 80 and he was turning here anyway. So what was the point of really going 75, 80 kilometers per hour if you're just gonna turn there and be at the same position as me? As soon as you cross this sign here, right past the Esso, it's gonna be a 50. At some point here, they would have asked you to do lane changes. So I would have done a run to the right and then one back to the left, and then you're gonna drive along. And then they would tell you some point close to this light, next traffic light, turn left. Or if they want you to take that second entrance, if there's too much traffic there, they might tell you to go down to the second entrance, but we're gonna go to the first one. So I'm gonna stop here, and then they'll probably tell you, okay, next street turn left, or first street turn left, maybe even at this position or once you start to move. So first street turn left from the middle lane means move over to the left lane and then get into the turning lane. So you wanna make sure you're watching and preparing yourself to do that. I see cars coming up on this lane. Green light is on. As soon as I cross the intersection, I can put on my signal. So I'm just watching to see what's going on here. Speed limit is 50. So this car is coming out a bit slow, so I'm gonna put on my signal because it seems like he'll let me pass him. Okay, I'm clear of him. All right, so I'm in the lane. So it's all about like preparing yourself and analyze the situation and just seeing what's going to happen. If that car came out fast, I know I got to get in behind them. If that car comes out slow like it did, I know I can probably speed up a little bit, get to 50, maybe even 55 if I have to, and then get in front of them, and then I can slow back down. That car's in the intersection first, so I can't go anywhere. I got to let him clear out first, but I'm still doing my checks. No pedestrians coming from that side. There are people on that side, but I think they're waiting to cross or even wait for the bus. So I make sure that first car clears before I do my entrance, but I'm still looking, because if that first car clears, usually I might be able to get the clearance as well. So let's just see what happens here. So that car's turning, that first car goes. All right, I still have time. I do my checks. Okay, let me turn into the plaza. And you would turn left here, but I'm just gonna go straight down, guys. So that would be pretty much it. Once you turn left here too, guys, make sure you're careful because there's a stop sign for these cars, but they never stop. So especially if there's a green light, they're not gonna stop for you. So make sure that you're aware of what's going on before you do that left turn and not just gunning it. And then, you know, even if you do have the right of way, in most situations, you're gonna fail the test because you could have observed and seen that that car was kind of, you know, not gonna stop or gonna go ahead. So make sure you're watching out for that. But that's it for this route, guys. I'm not sure how long it was, but truth be told, if there's no traffic, this route is pretty quick. If there is traffic like there was there at this time, it's gonna take that much time. So yeah, just kind of like prepare yourself, guys, to, if you're gonna drive in this area, if you're gonna do your test in this area, prepare yourself so that, you know, you can kind of like maybe get accustomed to the traffic a little bit. In my opinion, it's easier to do the test in traffic rather than on a highway that's going at regular speed, especially on the DVP. People will let you in if you signal. If you have an intent, if you show the intent that you're trying to get into a lane, people will let you in most of the time. You just got to make sure you're watching as soon as they give you the opportunity, because the longer you take, the less time they're going to give you. If I see you taking too long, I'm just going to continue driving straight. So make sure you're looking for your opportunity, you get the opportunity and take it. So that's it for this one, guys. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. Send me a text, 647-606-6957. If you guys want to book or have any questions, like I said, send me a message, send me a DM on Instagram, wherever you can find me. And yeah, no, I'll respond to you guys and kind of help you guys out if you want me to look at a score sheet or whatever. So let me know, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in.